Morning, everyone. Today's section 2, lesson 4. This is the Bible reading. So we're going to read Genesis 34 through 37 and Psalms 10. So this is Genesis 34, the treachery of Jacob's sons. Now Dinah, the daughter of Leah, whom she had borne to Jacob, went out unescorted to visit the girls of the land. When Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince, sheik of the land, saw her, he kidnapped her and lay intimately with her by force, humbling her and offending her. But his soul longed for and clung to Dinah, daughter of Jacob, and he loved the girl and spoke comfortingly to her young heart's wishes. So Shechem said to his father Hamor, "Get me this young woman as a wife." Now Jacob heard that Shechem had violated Dinah his daughter, but his sons were in the field with his livestock. So Jacob said nothing until they came in. But Shechem's father Hamor went to Jacob to talk with him. Now when Jacob's son heard of it, they came in from the field. They were deeply grieved, and they were very angry, for Shechem had done a disgraceful thing to Israel by lying with Jacob's daughter, for such a thing is not to be done. But Hamor conferred with them, saying, "The soul of my son Shechem deeply longs for your daughter and sister. Please give her to him as his wife. And beyond that, intermarry with us, give your daughters to us as wives, and take our daughters for yourselves. In this way you shall live with us, the country will be open to you, live and do business in it, and acquire property and possessions in it." Shechem also said to Dinah's father and to her brothers, "Let me find favor in your sight, and I will give you whatever you ask of me. Demand of me a very large bridal payment and gift as compensation for giving up your daughter and sister, and I will give you whatever you tell me, only give it to the girl to be my wife." Jacob's sons answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully, because Shechem had defiled and disgraced their sister Dinah. They said to them, "We cannot do this thing and give our sister in marriage to one who is not circumcised, because of that would be a disgrace to us. But we will consent to you only on this condition: if you will become like us, in that every male among you consents to be circumcised, then we will give our daughters to you in marriage, and we will take your daughters for ourselves, and we will live with you and become one people. But if you do not listen to us and refuse to be circumcised, then we will take our daughter Dinah and go." Their words seemed reasonable to Hamor and his son Shechem, and the young man did not hesitate to do the required thing, for he was delighted with Jacob's daughter. Now he was more respected and honored than all others in the household of his father. Then Hamor and Shechem his son came to the gate of their walled city, where the leading men would meet, and spoke with the men of the city, saying, "These men are peaceful and friendly with us, so let them live in the land and do business in it, for the land is large enough for us and for them. Let us take their daughters for wives, and let us give them our daughters in marriage. But only on this condition will the men consent to our request, that they live among us and become one people, that every male among us become circumcised, just as they are circumcised. Will not their cattle and their possessions and all their animals be ours if we do this? Let us consent to do as they ask, and they will live here with us." And every Canaanite man who went out of the city gate listened and considered what Hamor and Shechem said, and every male who was the resident of that city was circumcised. Now on the third day after the circumcision, when all the men were terribly sore and in pain, two of Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's full brothers, took their swords, boldly entered the city without anyone suspecting them of evil intent, and they killed every male. They killed Hamor and his son Shechem with the edge of the sword, and they took Dinah out of Shechem's house where she was staying, and left. Then Jacob's other sons came upon those who were killed and looted the town, because their sister had been defiled and disgraced. They took the Canaanites' flocks and their herds and their donkeys and whatever was in the city and in the field. They looted all their wealth and took captive all their children and their wives, even everything that was in the houses. Then Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, "You have ruined me, making me a stench to the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites and the Perizzites. My men are few in number, and the men of the land will band together against me and attack me. I shall be destroyed, I and my household." But they said, "Should he be permitted to treat our sister as a prostitute?" Genesis 35. Jacob moves to Bethel. Then God said to Jacob, "Go up to Bethel and live there, and make an altar there to God, who appeared to you in a distinct manifestation when you fled years ago from Esau your brother." Then Jacob said to his household and to all who were with him, "Get rid of the idols and images of foreign gods that are among you, and ceremonially purify yourselves and change into fresh clothes. Then let us get up and go up to Bethel, and I will make an altar there to God, who answered me in the day of my distress and has been with me everywhere I go, wherever I have gone. So they gave Jacob all the idols and images of the foreign gods they had, and the rings which were in their ears, worn as charms against evil. And Jacob buried them under the oak near Shechem. And as they journeyed, there was a great supernatural terror sent from God on the cities around them. And for that reason, the Canaanites did not pursue the sons of Jacob. So Jacob came to Luz, that is Bethel, which is in the land of Canaan, he and all the people who were with him. There he built an altar to worship the Lord and called the place El Bethel, God of the house of God, because there God had revealed himself to him when he escaped from his brother. Now Deborah, who once was Rebekah's nurse, died and was buried below Bethel under the oak, and the name of it was called Alon Bakuth, Oak of Weeping. Jacob is named Israel. Then God, in a visible manifestation, appeared to Jacob again when he came out of Paddan-aram, and declared a blessing on him. Again God said to him, Your name is Jacob. You shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel shall be your name. So he was called Israel. And God said to him, I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall come from you, and kings shall be born of your loins. The land which I give Abraham and Isaac I will give to you, and to your descendants after you I will give the land. Then God ascended from Jacob in the place where he had spoken with him. Jacob set up a pillar, a memorial monument, in the place where he had talked with God, a pillar of stone, and he poured a drink offering of wine on it. He also poured oil on it to declare it sacred for God's purpose. So Jacob named the place where God had spoken with him, Bethel, the house of God. Then they journeyed from Bethel, and when there was still some distance to go to Ephrath, Bethlehem, Rachel began to give birth and had difficulty and suffered severely. When she was in hard labor, the midwife said to her, Do not be afraid, you now have another son. And as her soul was departing, for she died, she named him Ben-Oni, son of my sorrow. But his father called him Benjamin, son of my right hand. So Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. Jacob set up pillar memorial monument on her grave, that is the pillar of Rachel's grave to this day. Then Israel, Jacob, journeyed on and pitched his tent on the other side of the Tower of Eder, the lookout point used by shepherds. While Israel was living in the land, Reuben, his eldest son, went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard about it. The sons of Israel. Now Jacob had 12 sons. The sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, then Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun, and the sons of Rachel, Joseph, and Benjamin. And the sons of Bilhah, Rachel's maid, Dan and Naphtali. And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's maid, Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob, born to him in Paddan-aram. Jacob came to Isaac his father at Mamre of Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac had lived temporarily. Now the days of Isaac were 180 years. Isaac's spirit departed, and he died, and was gathered to his people, who had preceded him in death, an old man full of days, satisfied, fulfilled. His sons Esau and Jacob buried him in the cave of Machpelah with his parents Abraham and Sarah. Genesis 36. Now these are the records of the descendants of Esau, that is Edom. Esau took his 3 wives from the daughters of Canaan, Edah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Oholabama, the daughter of Anna, the son of Zibeon the Hivite, and Basmath is Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebaioth. Ada bore Eliphaz to Esau, and Basmath bore Reuel, and Oholibama bore Jeshu, Jalam, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau born to him in Canaan. Now Esau took his wives and his sons and his daughters and all the members of his household and his livestock and all his cattle and all his possessions which he had acquired in the land of Canaan, and he went to a land far away from his brother Jacob, for their great flocks and herds and possessions made it impossible for them to live together in the same region. The land in which they lived temporarily could not support them because of their livestock. So Esau lived in the hill country of Seir. Esau is Edom. Descendants of Esau. These are the records of the generations of Esau their father, of the Edomites, in the hill country of Seir. These are the names of Esau's sons. Eliphaz the son of Ada, Esau's wife, and Reuel the son of Basmath, Esau's wife. And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, and Kenaz. And Timnah was a concubine of Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bore Amalek to Eliphaz. These are the sons of Ada, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Reuel, Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, and Misa. These are the sons of Basmath, Esau's wife. And these are the sons of Olibama, Esau's wife, the daughter of Anna, the son of Zebon. She bore to Esau Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These are the tribal chiefs of the sons of Esau, the sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn of Esau, chiefs Teman, Omar, Zepho, and Kenaz, Korah, Gatman, and Amalek. These are the chiefs of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. They are the sons of Ada. These are the sons of Reuel, Esau's sons, chiefs Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, Misa. These are the chiefs of Reuel in the land of Edom. They are the sons of Basmath, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Olibama, Esau's wife, chiefs Jeush, Jalma, Korah. These are the chiefs born of Olibama, daughter of Anna, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Esau, that is Edom, and these are their chiefs. These are the sons of Seir, the Horite, the inhabitants of the land, Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anna, Dishan, Ezra, and Dishan. These are the chiefs of the Horites, the sons of Seir in the land of Edom. The sons of Lotan are Hori and Hemam, and Lotan's sister is Dimnah. The sons of Shobal are these: Alvan, Manahath, Ebal, Shepho, and Onam. These are the sons of Zebon, Aya, and Anna. This is the Anna who found the hot springs in the wilderness as he pastured the donkeys of Zibeon, his father. The children of Anna are these: Dishon and Olibama, Esau's wife, and the daughter of Anna. These are the sons of Dishon: Hemdan, Ishban, Ithran, and Cheran. Ezer's sons are these: Bilhan, Zebahan, and Achan. The sons of Dishon are these: Uz and Aran. The Horite chiefs are these: chiefs Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anna, Dishon, Ezer, Dishan. These are the Horite chiefs according to the various clans in the land of Seir. And these are the kings who reigned in the land of Edom before any king reigned over the Israelites. Bela, the son of Beor, reigned in Edom, and the name of his city was Dinahaba. Now Bela died, and Jobab, the son of Zerah of Bozrah, reigned as his successor. Then Jobab died, and Husham of the land of the Timonites reigned as his successor. And Husham died, and Hadad, the son of Bedad, who defeated Midian in the country of Moab, reigned as his successor. The name of his walled city was Avith. Hadad died, and Shamlah of Masrekah succeeded him. Then Shamlah died, and Shaul of Raboth on the river Euphrates reigned as his successor. And Shaul died, and Baal-Hanah, son of Achbor, reigned as his successor. Baal-Hanah, the son of Achbor, died, and then Hadar reigned as his successor. His walled city was Pa. His wife's name was Mehotabel, the daughter of Matred, the daughter of Meshab. And these are the names of the tribal chiefs of Esau, according to their families and places of residence, by their names: chiefs Timnah, Alva, Jetheth, Olibama, Elah, Pinon, Kenaz, Teman, Mibzar, Migdal, and Aram. These are the tribal chiefs of Edom, that is, of Esau, the father of the Edomites, according to their dwelling places in the land of their possessions. Genesis 37. So Jacob Israel lived in the land where his father Isaac had been a stranger, sojourner, resident alien in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, when he was 17 years old, was shepherding the flock of his brothers, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. The boy was with the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, his father's secondary wives, and Joseph brought back a bad report about them to their father. Now Jacob loved Joseph more than all of his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a distinctive multicolored tunic. His brothers saw that their father loved Joseph more than all of his brothers, so they hated him and could not find it within themselves to speak to him on friendly terms. Now Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it to his brothers, and they hated him even more. He said to them, "Please listen to the details of this dream which I have dreamed. We brothers were binding sheaves of grain stalks in the field, and lo, my sheaf suddenly got up and stood upright and remained standing. And behold, your sheaf stood all around my sheaf and bowed down in respect." His brothers said to him, "Are you actually going to reign over us? Are you going to rule and govern us as your subjects?" So they hated him even more for telling them about his dreams and for his arrogant words. But Joseph dreamed still another dream and told it to his brothers as well. He said, "See here, I have dreamed a dream, and lo, this time I saw 11 stars, and the sun and the moon bowed down in respect to me." He told it to his father as well as to his brothers. And his father rebuked him and said to him in disbelief, "What is the meaning of this dream that you have dreamed? Shall I and your mother and your brothers actually come to bow down to the ground in respect before you?" Joseph's brothers were envious and jealous of him, but his father kept the words of Joseph in mind, wondering about their meaning. Then his brothers went to pasture their father's flock near Shechem. Jacob said to Joseph, Are not your brothers pasturing the flock at Shechem? Come, and I will send them to you." And he said, "Here I am, ready to obey you." Then Jacob said to him, "Please go and see whether everything is all right with your brothers and all right with the flock. Then bring back word to me." So he sent him from the Hebron valley, and he went to Shechem. Now a certain man found Joseph and saw that he was wandering around and had lost his way in the field. So the man asked him, "Where are you looking? Who are you looking for? What are you looking for?" He said, "I am looking for my brothers. Please tell me where they are pasturing our flocks." Then the man said, "They were here, but they have moved on from this place. I heard them say, 'Let us go to Dothan.'" So Joseph went after his brothers and found them at Dothan. And when they saw him from a distance, even before he came close to them, they plotted to kill him. They said to one another, "Look, here he comes, this dreamer. Now then, come and let us kill him and throw him into one of the pits, cisterns, underground water storage. Then we will say to our father, 'A wild animal killed and devoured him,' and we shall see what will become of his dreams." Now Reuben the oldest heard this and rescued him from their hands and said, "Let us not take his life." Reuben said to them, "Do not shed his blood, but instead throw him alive into this pit that is here in the wilderness, and do not let a hand on him to kill him." He said this so that he could rescue him from them and return him safely to his father. Now when Joseph reached his brothers, they stripped him of his tunic, the distinctive multicolored tunic which he was wearing. Then they took him and threw him in a pit. Now the pit was empty, there was no water in it. Then they sat down to eat their meal. When they looked up, they saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead, east of the Jordan, with their camels bearing laudanum resin for perfume and balm and myrrh, going on their way to carry the cargo down to Egypt. Judah said to his brothers, "What do we gain if we kill our brother and cover up his blood murder? Come, let us instead sell him to these Ishmaelites, the Midianites, and not lay our hands on him, because he is our brother and our flesh." So his brothers listened to him and agreed. Then, as the Midianite Ishmaelite traders were passing by, the brothers pulled Joseph up and lifted him out of the pit, and they sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver. And so they took Joseph as a captive into Egypt. Now Reuben, unaware of what had happened, returned to the pit, and to his great alarm found that Joseph was not in the pit. So he tore his clothes in deep sorrow. He rejoined his brothers and said, "The boy is not there. As for me, where shall I go to hide from my father?" Then they took Joseph's tunic, slaughtered a male goat, and dipped the tunic in the blood. And they brought the multicolored tunic to their father, saying, "We have found this. Please examine it and decide whether or not it is your son's tunic." He recognized it and said, "It is my son's tunic. A wild animal has devoured him. Joseph is without doubt torn in pieces." So Jacob tore his clothes in grief, put on sackcloth, and mourned many days for his son. Then all his sons and daughters attempted to console him, but he refused to be comforted and said, "I will go down to Sheol, the place of the dead, in mourning for my son." And his father wept for him. Meanwhile, in Egypt, the Midianites sold Joseph as a slave to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh and the captain of the royal guard. Psalm 10. A prayer for the overthrow of the wicked. Why do you stand far away, O Lord? Why do you hide yourself, veiling your eyes in times of trouble? In pride and arrogance, the wicked hotly pursue and persecute the afflicted. Let them be caught in the plots which they have devised. For the wicked boasts and sings the praises of his heart's desire, and the greedy man curses and spurns, and even despises the Lord. The wicked in the haughtiness of his face will not seek nor inquire for him. All his thoughts are, there is no God, so there is no accountability or punishment. His ways prosper at all times. Your judgments, Lord, are on high, out of his sight, so he never thinks about them. As for all his enemies, he sneers at them. He says to himself, I will not be moved, for throughout all generations I will not be in adversity, for nothing bad will happen to me. His mouth is full of curses and deceit, fraud and oppression. Under his tongue is mischief and wickedness, injustice and sin. He lurks in ambush in the villages. In hiding places he kills the innocent. He lies in wait for the unfortunate, the unhappy, the poor, the helpless. He lurks in a hiding place like a lion in his lair. He lies in wait to catch the afflicted. He catches the afflicted when he draws him into his net. He crushes his prey and crouches, and the unfortunate fall by his mighty claws. He says to himself, God has quite forgotten. He has hidden his face. He will never see my deed. Arise, O Lord, O God. Lift up your hand in judgment. Do not forget the suffering. Why has the wicked spurned and shown disrespect to God? He has said to himself, you will not require me to account. You have seen it, for you have noted the mischief and vexation, irritation to take it into your hand. The unfortunate commits himself to you. You are the helper of the fatherless. Break the arm of the wicked and the evildoer. Seek out his wickedness until you find no more. The Lord is king forever and ever. The nations will perish from his land. O Lord, you have heard the desire of the humble and oppressed. You will strengthen their heart. You will incline your ear to hear, to vindicate and obtain justice for the fatherless and the oppressed, so that man who is of the earth will no longer terrify them.